Hi, this is Anil and welcome to the video tutorial on Java programming. So in this tutorial, we're gonna learn about the multi-way ifs and the nested ifs in Java. So let's get started. So in the previous tutorial, I have explained you guys about the if and else. If some expression was resulting in true, then we were executing some statement, else we were executing some other statements. So what if you want to execute some statements if some condition is true, and again you want to check for some other condition, and if that condition satisfies, then you want to execute some other statements similarly like that. So at that time, what we can do is we can use the multi-way ifs, or we can use the if else, if else, if else. So let's see how to do that. Alright, the program that we're gonna write in this tutorial is gonna be on chocolates. So if I have only one chocolate, I'm gonna eat it. If I have two chocolates, then I'm gonna eat one and I'm gonna eat one to my girlfriend. So if I have three chocolates, then I'm gonna eat one, I'm gonna give one to my girlfriend, and I'm gonna give it to my best friend. So here what we're gonna do is, first we're gonna check for the number of chocolates, whether I have one chocolate. Then if it is so, then we're gonna execute some statements. Else we're gonna check for some other conditions, whether I have two chocolates. If it is so, then we're gonna execute some statement, and again we're gonna check for some other conditions. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create a variable, and let's call it as chocolate. It contains the number of chocolates that I have. And the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna check for the number of chocolates. So I'm gonna use the if statement, and here we're gonna check using the comparison operators. If chocolate is equal to 1, so make sure that you use this double equal to symbol here, because we are using the comparison operator equal to. Alright, if the number of chocolates that I have is equal to 1, then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use print line method from system.out, and I'm just gonna say one chocolate, and I'm just gonna copy this and paste it in the next line, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna eat it. So if I have only one chocolate, then I'm gonna eat it. What if I have two chocolates? So now we're gonna check for the number of chocolate, whether the chocolate that I have is equal to 2. So here we're gonna use the else part, else, and then we're gonna write if again. So if some condition is true, here we're gonna execute this statement, and if this first condition fails, then again we're gonna check for some other conditions. So if this second condition satisfies, then we're gonna execute some code. Else if, and we're gonna have a pair of curly braces. So here what happens is, if this condition satisfies, then we're gonna execute these statements. If this first condition fails, then we're gonna check for the second condition, and if it satisfies, then we're gonna execute some statements. So here I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm gonna write chocolates is equal to 2. Then I'm gonna copy all these print line statements, and I'm gonna paste it here, and I'm gonna say two chocolates, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna eat one and give one to my girlfriend. So if any girls are watching this tutorial, then you guys can change this one to boyfriend, I don't mind. Alright, now if I have one chocolate, then I'm gonna execute all the statements. If I don't have one chocolate, then I'm gonna check whether I have two chocolates. So if I have two chocolates, then I'm gonna execute these statements. Now I'm gonna check for three chocolates, so I'm gonna copy all these statements, and I'm gonna paste it again, and we're gonna have the else here, and I'm just gonna paste it. Now we're gonna check for three chocolates. If I have three chocolates, then I'm gonna say three chocolates, and I'm gonna eat one, and I'm gonna give one to my girlfriend and my best friend. So now here what happens is, First we're gonna check for the chocolates that I have. If I have one, I'm gonna execute these statements. That's it. I'm not gonna check for these conditions whether I have 2 chocolates or 3 chocolates and all these things. I have only 1 chocolate, so why should I have to check for whether I have 2 or 3 or more? If this expression fails or results in false, which means that I don't have 1 chocolate, then I'm going to check for whether I have 2 chocolates. So if it is so, then I'm going to execute these statements. Else, if this both expressions fail, then we're going to check for this third one. So similarly, we can construct as many if else ifs in our programs. So here, lastly, what we're gonna do is, if I have more than 3 chocolates, then I just gonna share it with all. So I'm gonna have the else part here, and I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm gonna paste it here, and I'm gonna say more than 3 chocolates, and I'm gonna share it with all my friends. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna share it. Alright, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna initialize our chocolate variable. So let's say I have 1 chocolate, and I'm gonna assume that you guys have at least 1 chocolate. So now here the chocolate variable is going to contain a value of 1, and that's why this first if condition is going to succeed, and that's why we can execute these 2 statements, and we're not going to check for the other conditions here. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to run this. You guys can see I have only 1 chocolate and I'm going to eat it. Alright, now let's say we have 2 chocolates. Save it and run it. Now you guys can see I have 2 chocolates, and I'm gonna eat one and I'm gonna give one to my girlfriend. So here, since this chocolate is 2, this first condition fails because chocolate is not equal to 1. So that's why we're gonna check the condition again, whether the chocolate that I have is equal to 2. Yes, I have 2 chocolates now, and that's why we're gonna execute the statements within this block. And we're not gonna check for whether I have 3 chocolates or I have more than 3 chocolates. So now if I change this one to 3, it's gonna say 3 chocolates, and I'm gonna eat one, give one to my girlfriend and my best friend. So here, this chocolate equal to 1 and chocolate equal to 2 are gonna yield false, or they're gonna fail, and that's why we are checking this third condition and we are executing the statements inside that block. Okay, now we can have more than 3 chocolates. Let's say I have 4 chocolates, and I'm gonna run it. You guys can see more than 3 chocolates, and I'm gonna share it with all my friends. So here, this first chocolate equal to 1, chocolate equal to 2, 3 are gonna fail, and that's why the else part will be executed. So by using this if and else if, we can check for multiple conditions and we can execute particular statements depending on some conditions. So the next thing that I want you guys to teach you in this tutorial is gonna be about nested if and else. So here inside this if or else blocks, we can nest multiple if statements. So let's say here, if I have only 1 chocolate, then we're gonna check for whether I have more money. So if I have more money, then I'm gonna buy some chocolates. So here, just gonna create a boolean variable, money, and let's initialize this one to, let's say true. I have more money. So here we're gonna check for that. So it's gonna be if money, and we're not going to have an expression here, the boolean variable. Then we're going to say I'm going to buy more chocolates, and else if I don't have money, then I'm just going to say no money, bad luck. So now let's make our chocolate is equal to 1, and I'm gonna run it. You guys can see I got 1 chocolate and I'm gonna eat it. And then here we have more money, and that's why I'm gonna buy more chocolates. So if I don't have more money, let's make it false. and if I run it, you guys can see I don't have money, so bad luck. So the purpose of this tutorial is to explain you guys about checking for multiple conditions using the if and else if, and also teaching you guys about nesting the if and else inside them. So here inside this if you want, you can have another if statement. You can nest as many if and else statements inside a if and else. So this is it, guys. This is about a tutorial on chocolates, the if and else. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'm gonna put the source code of this tutorial in my web blog, learninglededucation.blogspot.com. You guys can go there and copy all this code. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.